Hello, my Broncos. This is Mrs. W. It's Friday, the 19th of November, and it's the beginning of Thanksgiving break. Hard to believe. So we are all off for a week. I'm going to enjoy spending some time with my family and staying in my pajamas a lot. This week we had hearing tests on Monday, which went well. And then we had a lockdown and an evacuation drill on Thursday. Everyone did a really good job on that. And today is Friday, and everyone was out at 1:30. Next week, there's no school. So we will come back to school on the 29th of November, which is very exciting. So now I have a book to read you. It's part 2 of Sharice's Big Voice. A Native Kid Becomes a Congresswoman. So if you haven't seen part 1, you need to go back to not last week, but the week before last. I learned how to work hard by watching my mom. I sold newspaper subscriptions and worked in a pizza restaurant. No onions on mine. Later, I paid for college by working in a fast food restaurant, making burgers, cleaning bathrooms, and calming upset customers. I learned you can't always fix someone's complaint. When you're out of mustard, you're out of mustard. But you can listen. And you can do something to make them feel better, like maybe free ice cream. Free ice cream always makes me feel better. In college, I used part of each paycheck for martial arts classes so I could finally learn to fight like Bruce Lee, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, capoeira. I could land a punch and defend against a palm strike, but more importantly, I learned that when I worked hard at something, I got better at it, even if I couldn't see it right away. I trained every day for years. Finally, I was ready for my first mixed martial arts fight. I was nervous, but I knew I was prepared. Standing in the ring, I thought about my training, all those hours practicing, and then the bell rang. We met in the middle of the ring, and I pounced on my opponent. In less than a minute, I won my first fight, and with my favorite move, a triangle hold. The crowd cheered. With my arm raised high, I realized it felt good to win. But it felt even better knowing I'd won because I'd worked so hard. You know how that feels, right? At the same time that I was fighting in the ring, I started a journey with a different kind of battle. I decided to enroll in law school so I could make our U.S. laws more just and fair. I didn't know anyone who was both Native American and an attorney. I didn't even know any attorneys, but martial arts taught me not to be afraid of new challenges. A friend told me about a program for Native Americans preparing to be lawyers, and I signed up. It was the first time in my life I sat in a classroom surrounded by Native people. I felt powerful. No one in that room asked, "Sharice, what are you?" Once I had my law degree, I worked for a big law firm, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like my path. So I moved to a reservation in South Dakota. I saw that my Native friends there didn't have the kind of opportunity I had in Kansas, so I used my legal skills to help them start businesses. I learned a lot living there, and my life is better for it. Working with Native American tribes, I saw that the people who make up the American government don't always see how the laws they make impact the people they represent. I wanted to change that. So I went to work in the White House. Do you know that the White House is where the president lives? Yeah, that's a pretty important place. There I saw how laws were made, but I didn't see people who looked like my family. I didn't see people who'd grown up like me. What if that changed, I wondered? What if everyone's voice was heard by the people making our laws? That's when I had a bold, brave idea that would need my big voice, my ability to listen, and my ability to take a punch. Turns out, a lot of punches. Can you guess what I'm talking about? I decided to run for U.S. Congress. Our government needed different voices and more people who would listen. I had doubters, people who didn't think I could win, or that I should even run. But do you think I listened to them? I don't think she did. In the beginning, the campaign team was small enough to fit around a kitchen table. But as we walked through neighborhoods, more people joined in. Our campaign made room for everyone. We listened to everyone. See how big that's written? People who couldn't afford to see a doctor, moms whose jobs didn't pay enough to give their kids more opportunities, every child who's ever been asked, "What are you?" In our campaign, we listened to every voice. The night of the election, I hoped we would win. I knew how hard everyone had worked on the campaign. I knew how important it was for their voices to be heard. I watched the election results on TV in a small room with my best friend, my family, my campaign team, and my partner. We laughed, talked, and ate macaroni and cheese. When the results came in, I'd won by a lot. Sharice Davids wins! I walked out of the small room into a ballroom and saw the smiling faces of all the people who'd helped on the campaign. As they cheered and clapped, I climbed onto the stage with my mom and we lifted our arms. We did it. I felt like everyone, every voice was rising up with me. Growing up, I never would have guessed my path would lead to Congress. I didn't know I would be one of the first Native American women in Congress and the first lesbian representative from Kansas. Everyone's path is different, and wherever yours takes you, maybe the lessons I learned can help. Here's her lessons. Be open to challenges. Work hard, and you'll learn a lot. Listen to people, but not the doubters. Use your big voice to fight for your beliefs. And always remember, you deserve to be seen and heard. You deserve to be seen and heard. It's a sticky page. Look, and there's the author's note. Look, that's Sharice when she was little. And there she is. I hope you enjoyed learning about Sharice Davids in Sharice's big voice. Broncos, I hope that you have a wonderful week. I miss you and I love you. I will see you on the 29th of November. And remember, today and every day, it's great to be a Bronco. Take care, Broncos. See you soon.